Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I just thought I wanted to share another health update mm, about what's been going on. And as far as the health part goes, it's nothing dramatic has been happening. The ME/CFS condition has remained quite stable. I've been pacing well over the last yeah, honestly, it's 1.5 year now with pretty decent pacing, and since the last update as well, last few months, I've been pacing well, and I do keep seeing some smaller improvements each month. Mm, doesn't mean there aren't fluctuations, even when I pace really well. There are still fluctuations, so I typically have a couple of days of some energy where I still need to choose which activities I want, whether we're talking about grocery shopping, socializing, or taking a small walk, or doing some, a little bit of resistance training very lightly and so on. But I'm able to do more. I've actually, and then those days will be followed by a couple of days where I typically need to really rest a lot just to recharge a bit, basically. I've been trying to, and I've actually been cutting back a little bit on activity and trying to extend the period, because if I do, what I notice is that if I do, bigger activities, so to say, then I only typically have maybe 2 days of, a little bit of energy, and then I need to already go and rest. But if I do a little less, I can maybe have some energy for maybe 3 days, or maybe, a little longer than that, without having to rest so much and have so much downtime is basically what I'm trying to avoid. So, I'm trying to just spread my activities over a longer time period, and maybe, holding a little bit back on the physical stuff, such as, things that include a lot of walking and stuff. So yeah, also at the end of May, I did go to the city, and I was right below 4,000 steps on that day. And actually, in actuality, I think it's a little less, because when I shower, some steps will be recorded. But after that activity, I was pretty. I went too close to the edge. That's for sure. Because what happened was that I did really sleep for the next 3 or 4 days. I was sleeping, an insane amount, and I even even now I'm still like uh, trying to get back to the full level that I was at before that activity. It's happening, but just goes to show that even if you don't fully crash, if you go close to the edge, then the symptoms will be exacerbated, and they were in that case. So another thing is that I have I'm realizing that pacing and good management, because I've been doing quite well as far as the lifestyle things go for 1.5 year now, closer to 2 years actually, if you count from the month that I actually crashed in back in 2023, towards the end of 2023, which was in October, closing in on 2 years actually of good management. And I'm realizing that it's only taking you so far, because yes, I've seen some, there are some improvements. Obviously, I can do more than I could back then. Obviously, it's a big difference, but we're talking 2 years as well, and my level is still very much moderate as far as ME/CFS severity goes. Um, so. And there is here in Norway, in my hometown of Bergen, there is actually some groundbreaking research going on for ME, where they are going to use a targeted drug called daratumumab. Daratumumab. I don't know how to say that in English, but I think it's the same word, but it is basically typically a drug that's used, from my understanding, for a cancer disease called multiple myeloma, which is cancer of the bone marrow, and it affects the immune system. So what this drug apparently does is that targets those antibodies, regardless of whether they are malignant or not. And since it targets also non-malignant antibodies, or antibodies, I think the word is in English. The theory or the hypothesis is that it can maybe have a beneficial effect in ME patients, because it is believed that antibodies plays a significant role in in creating the symptoms that ME patients experience. So anyway, 66 people will be included in this study, and I think 24 of those will be given the placebo, and the remaining, I'm not 100%, I think it was 24, and the remaining patients will be getting the actual drug, the actual treatment, and the duration I think will be closer to 2 years for this study, till the last patient has been fully going through everything. So since it's here, I'm sure that there will be a lot of people interested in participating in this, because as we know, ME does not have really a lot of treatment options, especially here in Norway. It's very limited. So people, of course, that have this are all desperate to try things, and so I'm sure there will be a lot of interest. But either way, I think I should be qualified, at least based on the criteria that I looked at. So I did work on an application, and I sent in an application to participate in this study. And what they said is that the pilot has showed some really promising results. Of course, you cannot know if there are other factors or not that cause that, but they've been using, from what I understand, stricter criteria than in the other studies. And the pilot did show some really promising results, from what I can see, where at least 60% responded. One of the participants had a relapse, a partial relapse. The others have continued to display, long-term improvements, even after 2 years. So, and we're talking severe patients and moderate patients, so no one with mild disease level this time. So that is a pretty significant improvement. And I know they have been using cyclophosphamide and rituximab, these other cancer drugs that are more toxic and have more side effects. But apparently this one, the daratumumab, as it's called, apparently it has a much safer profile as far as the side effects go. And that's, for me, that is because I am, of course, I want a treatment. I need a treatment, because what I'm doing is not enough to get me fully well. I realize that. I mean, at least not in the short term. I mean, we're talking very long term, at least, and that's in the best case scenario. But I'm also not super desperate, since I am not, I've been worse, and things are kind of stable, and my quality of life isn't where I want it to be, obviously. But I'm also not in the camp where I'm super desperate. So I would probably not have signed up for this if we were talking a more a drug with more unsafe side effects profile. But this one seems relatively safe, so I think, and it's always going to be a trade-off, a cost-benefit analysis when it comes to these things. But in the end, I think I'm at a point where I'm willing to try it based on what I'm hearing. But we will see if I'm included or not. I'm not that optimistic, even though I qualify, and it's in this area that I live, where that the study will take place and everything. But I'm sure they have a lot of people who would like this to try this. So we will have to see. Wait and see. It will be exciting, and even if I'm not included, I think it's great news for everyone with this disease that they are doing this kind of research, and it's exciting for all of us. And we just got to cheer on these researchers that are really working for us to try and find some treatment options, because this disease is much worse than what people realize, the general public realize. They have no idea. They really, I'm not gonna get into all of that, but especially sufferers and maybe their family members know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's all from me. My life is not too bad, but I still, I still need to rest really a lot, and I can't do too much. I need to manage my energy levels a lot, but I'm still hopeful, optimistic, and yeah. Catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.